is going to create an absolutely incredible life. Like, this is the stack to be like ultimately fulfilled, ultimately financially free, location free, like whatever you want in life to fully execute your potential. This is the approach. It's just plain and simple. It all revolves around finding what is in the center of your orbit. So the first thing that you need to do is basically find what is in the center of your orbit, which is like, it doesn't have to be one thing, but it will be one general thing. Like, it could be creativity. You can optimize towards creativity. You can optimize towards like having a child. You can optimize towards whatever it might be in your life. You could optimize towards a sport if you want to be a professional athlete, if you want to do whatever you want to do. For me, my life, I'll use my life as an example because why not, is optimized towards creativity. So for me, running my business and making music is the center of my orbit. They are what allows me to execute my maximum potential. Why do I want to do that? Because I just find that really fun. When I was miserable and depressed and I didn't enjoy life whatsoever and I was conditionally happy, I didn't want to optimize for myself. I didn't give two craps. In fact, I was optimizing for death, literally. Like, everything I was doing in my life was actually optimizing towards potentially dying. That was what I was doing before, dying as a body mind. So the first step I took was to find unconditional happiness, very important. But you can do this approach alongside that. This is why I'm giving you this approach as well. I share about unconditional happiness in my private community if you want to check that out. But the main thing here, and I also share about this too, but primarily that. So unconditional happiness is essential, but it goes coherence with this. So once you find the center of your orbit, this is basically like, imagine that you have like a planet, and this is like your relationship. You have another planet, this is like your family. You have another planet, this is your friends. And you eventually realize you have a solar system in your life. And the center of that solar system is the sun, as the sun is the center of all other solar systems. So you need whatever has the biggest gravity for you in your life in the center of your orbit. Because if something that isn't the biggest gravitational force in your life is in the center of your orbit, if you put that there, basically, if you prioritize something else other than what you really think is the center of your orbit, all the other planets are going to go out of alignment. So basically the job is to how can I get my solar system to be in complete coherence with itself? Well, the only way you're going to do that is if the thing that has the most mass, the most energetic gravitational mass, we're speaking metaphorically here, is in the center. Because the minute you put the sun, if we took the sun now and just swapped it with Earth, what do you think is going to happen to the rest of the planets in the solar system? They're all going to go crazy. Some of them will even fly out of orbit. So if we want to keep all the good things in our life that we really enjoy, and we want to optimize our mind and optimize our human condition to maximize our potential, because why wouldn't you want to do that? I just think that's a really fun thing to do. Some people might not agree with that, but for me, I was optimizing for death when I was miserable. So when I got unconditionally happy, I had no resistance to do it, to having fun and doing things I enjoy. So now I just operate my life around having fun. This is why I can just do this on a random Wednesday and be completely financially free and not have to worry about anything. So when I started to realize this, I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was kind of like Bashar talking about your highest excitement. But for me, my highest excitement, it wasn't an accurate measurement for me. It just, for some reason, it didn't work. It works for some people, but it didn't work for me. For me, it was more accurate to say, what is the most funnest thing I can think of doing every single day? For me, that was music. So the first thing I did was go, okay, well, what do I need to do? What planets do I need all orbiting my sun, which was music, to make music the thing I can do every single day? Well, the first thing was if I want to really make music, the first thing I want to do is I need to get money to fund me making music. So the first thing I did was think, okay, I need a job. But then I was like, but if I'm working at a bar, is that going to optimize my creativity to make music? No, it's not. What can I do then? What is the most efficient thing that I can do to make music the best possible experience? It would be to have a job that is not going to limit me to having to be somewhere. So I thought, I need a remote job. Amazing. That's one part of one planet of orbit. The next thing was that job has to be giving me enough money to live the best life I want to live. So I wanted to make a minimum of £5,000 to £10,000 per month. So that was the next requirement. Enough money to basically have my own nice luxury apartment, just do whatever I wanted there. And to live wherever I wanted to, because choosing where I live is going to absolutely amplify my creativity. So I went on Google and I thought, well, what am I good at? I'm good at sales. I could do sales closing. And I went on Google and I literally just typed in sales closing jobs, found a job within a week for an amazing company, and I was just living remote, making 10 grand a month, living in Mexico in a luxury apartment with a sauna and a gym, just everything I wanted. But then the next thing was, I don't actually like doing this anymore. So I started to not enjoy doing the actual job, doing the sales job. So I had everything that I thought I needed at the time, but the next thing I needed was actually to enjoy the thing that was going to take up the most time, which was the sales job. So then the next thing I thought, well, what am I best at doing now? That led me to this, to doing what I actually enjoy. And I thought, this is interesting. I didn't see this before as something that I could do every day, that I really enjoy doing, even though I love doing it. So then I thought, well, this will be the thing that I do every day. And this actually sparked a new desire for me to be creative, not just to make music, but to be creative, to create, to share with people, to implement my understanding. And that was when I built this community and this YouTube channel. And since then, I mean, it's just happened. Like, there's been no resistance to it. So this approach works. And now I get to just do whatever I want. Literally, so if you just do this approach, I guarantee it'll work for you. So the main thing is that making the center of your orbit has to be the center of your orbit. And then you just do what it takes to get there. So the next thing you're going to have to think about is, while you're making this the center of your orbit, if you are acting as though this isn't the center of your orbit, guess what's going to happen? You'll basically start prioritizing other things. So when you hear Neville Goddard talk about being the wish fulfilled, and you've got to embody the person who is being the person who has the thing you're doing, well, what this means is that in this analogy, basically, to have this as the center of your orbit, you have to be that energy. If you're not that, then what you're subtly doing is saying, no, my relationship is the center of my orbit. This is the center of my orbit. And you start actually behaving in a way which disregards the thing you want to do being the center of your orbit. Because whatever's in the center of your orbit is literally the thing you realize is how you will operate at 100% every single day, give or take, you see? There's going to be some days where there'll be challenges for you, maybe. But generally speaking, it'll be the thing that is like most optimized for you to be doing every single day. So if painting, making music, or doing art, or some type of creative sport is going to be the thing that is going to make you like inspired to live, that is going to be the center of your orbit. And once you realize that, most people go, well, the center of my orbit is actually producing music, but I can't do that every day because I have to work and I have to do those things. You're just behaving like it's not the center of your orbit. It is the center of your orbit. This is a realization you have to have. This isn't like finding your life purpose. This is literally just thinking, what is the funnest thing? Everybody knows what that is. People just don't respect it. So the funnest thing you can think of doing every day is what should be the center of your orbit, because it is actually the center of your orbit. And the reason why all the other parts of your solar system are out of coherence is because you're not acting and behaving as if it is the center of your orbit. You say, no, but I love doing this, but I'll just do this tomorrow, or I'll just do this once a week, or I'll just do this. And you compensate doing things you don't want to do. For what cause? Like, why? You see? So when you start realizing, okay, let's just say it's painting. Painting is the center of my orbit. Oh my gosh, and all this time I've been pulling it off, thinking it was not, and like making decisions that were out of alignment with that. The only reason we would make decisions out of alignment with what's in the center of our orbit is if we're conditionally happy. Because what that means is basically, I am comfortable in the safety of these conditions, and if I step out of these conditions, potentially fail, potentially like lose something, then my happiness is at stake. So I'll stay in the comfort of my own discomfort, of my unorganized solar system, this wonky little solar system, where I'm prioritizing everything I don't want, that I don't find fun, as the center of my orbit, and I'm not being who I truly am. I'll prioritize that, because if I try to make it different. Oh, maybe that'll step out of the way and then maybe I'll lose something and my happiness is going to be lost. So I'm protecting my fragile peace amongst this tide of sand so that I can potentially keep my tiny fragmented happiness later in the future. It's ridiculous. So when to the extent that you're unconditionally happy is to the extent that you're going to be actually doing all the things that you love and enjoy. Now, this can also be hijacked. There's probably a lot of people doing things they love and enjoy who aren't unconditionally happy. That's true. But there's a lot of reasons behind that, such as using what we think is fun for the sake of fulfilling ourselves. Most of you, if you're watching this now, you probably aren't doing that. You see, this is why you probably resonate more with what I'm saying, because I'm speaking to a specific certain type of person, a person who generally avoids doing things in order, because you're like, oh, but is this just my ego trying to fulfill itself? Is this just my ego trying to do this and this and this? No, it's not your ego trying to do anything. It's you trying to live your life doing what you find fun, and your ego is resisting that for the comfort of its own discomfort. That's what it is. So you've got to behave and be the person who lives in that center of the orbit. You see? Like, if you look at a rock star, you can see very clearly that they are living in the center of their orbit. There's nothing taking them out of it. If you look at them, you're like, you can feel it oozing from them. You see? You know when someone's in the center of their orbit because they look the part. If they were in a movie, they look like they look like the main character, basically. If you see them on the street, you go, this guy is fucking oozing with center orbit energy. Like, do you see what I'm trying to say? Like, they will dress the part. You will feel their energy. They will speak the part. They're living in it. Because, you see what I mean? Like, if you've seen the Beatles walking down the street, or if you've seen, like, Oasis, you'd be literally thinking, like, whatever they're doing is fun. I don't know what they do day to day, but it looks like they're enjoying themselves, because you can feel that energy because they're in the center of their orbit. Everything they're doing day to day is optimized towards music. It's optimized towards what they do. You see? So this is why it's important. So all you have to do is basically realize the funnest thing I can currently think of doing. And if the funnest thing you can think of doing isn't that clear to you, and the funnest thing is maybe like, I like to go for walks, make that the center of your orbit, and maybe walking, it will happen, this walking will take you into a new direction. So if you say running every day is my center of my orbit, amazing. Optimize your life to run every day. If you're already running and that's not the center of your orbit and there's something else, do that. You see? So the funnest thing you can think of doing right now, make it it is the center of your orbit. So realize it's the center of your orbit and optimize your life towards it. And what is going to happen is life is going to literally give you everything you need. No hesitation. Life will give it to you. But you can't resist it, and you have to take the risks it takes to go and do it. Now, these risks, they're not really risks, right? It will look like a risk, but it won't really be a risk. So it'll present the opportunities, they'll present themselves to you with like a little taste of risk. And that is when you know it is the right direction. Even if the risk you take doesn't take you to the thing you thought where place you were going, I can always 100% guarantee you that it will take you closer to it. It's impossible for it not to. So if you're unconditionally happy, you're not going to have any issues with taking those steps, which is why being unconditionally happy is a very important thing for this approach. Because then you're not going to be worrying about, oh, but what if this doesn't happen, this and that. You're just going to do it. You're just going to do it. And don't listen to advice that people give you, like friends, family, mums, grandmums. Like, they're all going to try and protect you. They're going to keep you safe. They want to keep you in the same safe, comfort zone because they don't want to see you suffer. They think if you do this and you fail, or if this happens and that happens and you suffer, they will suffer. And people don't want to suffer. No one wants to suffer. No one wants to feel like, oh, my son is suffering. Oh no, now I'm suffering. Can you stop suffering, son, so I can stop suffering too? That's what parents will do. And it comes out of love, but it's a distorted love. This is what everybody thinks. Or people are just going to doubt you. People don't think you deserve it. People don't think they deserve it. You've got to just forget all of this stuff. If you want to live an optimized life, and like, if you're doing this, it's going to benefit everybody around you. Like, if you're doing something that is to your highest degree, it's going to inspire everybody else on their path to unconditional happiness, because they're going to be wondering, well, what are you doing? What are you like? What's going on in your life? You see, this will inspire people. So it goes beyond ourselves. But ultimately, it should be for ourselves. It should be, what do I think is absolutely fun, and be unapologetic in doing it. You see? My sister died recently, and one of the number one things that she always said was just live your life. She was in an earthquake in Bali, and this earthquake, she was left in a field, basically, told that she was going to die because a tsunami was coming. So they were like, sorry guys, tsunami's coming, nothing we can do about it. Go to the field, try and survive, do whatever you can, but you're stuck in a field, and that's it. Basically, the tsunami will be here by the morning. So everyone is like in a black field. Imagine this, a black field, crying because there's no light, because you're on an Indonesian island with no the street lights. So it's pitch black. Everybody's bawling their eyes out because there's a freaking tsunami coming. Could you imagine that? A tsunami? Not like someone shooting you in the head nice and easy. A tsunami is coming. So you've got to contemplate what is going to happen to your body when that's going on, and dying. And everyone's left there screaming their heads off, crying, calling their loved ones, I love you, the tsunami's coming, goodbye. So she was left in a field like that the entire night. Then all of a sudden, the tsunami doesn't even happen. There's no tsunami. And then she sees the sun rising. And she said, the sun rising, she said, in that moment where she was contemplating this, contemplating her life and everything that she didn't do, she said the only thing she wanted to do was to have done everything she wanted to do. It was the one thing. So every time she's seen the sunrise, it was her remembrance of her life and how life wants to be lived. Life doesn't want to sit there and do nothing, unless that is the funnest thing life can think of doing in that body mind. But life wants to be lived. Life doesn't want to sit there like a passive little consciousness. I'm a witnessing consciousness. I do nothing. No, it does everything. It's waving the waves right now. It's the child, it's the mother, it's the men fishing, it's everything. It's doing it all. So be that. Let that channel through you, you see? Because not long after, my sister just died of cancer. And guess what? We went to see the sunrise with her in her deathbed in the morning when she was overlooking the ocean. And instead of the sun rising, she dies. Just as the sun rises, it doesn't rise because it's so foggy, even though the weather was perfect all week. So foggy, the sun doesn't rise. You don't even notice the difference between the dark and when it was light. And then just after the sunrise, 5:30 in the morning, she passes away with us all around her holding her hand. So life inspires. Do you not see the synchronicity in that? 1 minute she's given the sunrise and she lives. The next minute she's given the sunrise and she dies. This is an analogy to live your life. If that is not enough, if just hearing this story of someone else on earth, this one little story, life has given us, to me, to share to you for a reason. That does not happen as an accident. This is a message, and this is a message from life to go out there and live it, to not hesitate, to go out there and juice it. Imagine life is a lemon. You don't want to juice it with a little cocktail stick. You want to juice it with your fist. You want to get the juice out of that lemon. A lemon juicer might be better. A fist is a little bit extreme. But you want to juice the shit out of your life. I have a community, the link is in the description, and I talk about how to embody this approach and do this every single week. So I pour my heart and soul into this. If you want to join in with that, I'd love to see you there, guys. Have an amazing day. Take care. Bye.